Why John Cena turned heel at Elimination Chamber 2025. Picture this. It's Elimination Chamber 2025, the crowd is on their feet, and John Cena, Mr. Never Give Up, the guy who's been a hero for 2 decades, does the unthinkable. He pins CM Punk to win the match, but that's not the real shock. No, the real jaw-dropper comes when Cena turns his back on everything he's ever stood for and joins forces with his old enemy, The Rock. This isn't just a win, it's a betrayal. Right before this, Cody Rhodes had stared The Rock down and said, "No way, I won't sell my soul." But Cena? He didn't even blink. He shook The Rock's hand, turned bad, and left the fans stunned. For years, Cena's been the ultimate good guy. 16 world titles, countless Make-A-Wish visits, and that famous hustle, loyalty, respect motto. Now, on his final run before retirement, he's flipped the script. Why would Cena, the man we've cheered for so long, become a villain? What's going on in his head? Well, there are 5 huge reasons why this heel turn makes perfect sense, and I'm going to walk you through every single one step by step with all the details you need to understand this massive moment in wrestling history. Let's get started. Reason 1. Cena got desperate after losing the Royal Rumble. John Cena had a plan for his last run, and it was a simple one. Kick things off by winning the Royal Rumble. He wanted that big victory, the kind that gets you a guaranteed title shot at WrestleMania. For Cena, it was more than just a match. It was his ticket to one final spotlight moment before he hangs up his boots. He trained hard, he hyped up the fans, and he stepped into that 30-man chaos ready to prove he's still got it. But then, out of nowhere, Jey Uso stole the show. Jey eliminated Cena, raised his arms in victory, and left Cena standing there, empty-handed. You could see it on Cena's face after the match. He was crushed. He forced a smile and raised Jey's hand like a good sport, but his eyes told a different story. This wasn't just a loss, it was a punch to the gut. Cena's always been the guy who overcomes the odds, the guy who finds a way to win when it matters most. But this time, he didn't. For a man who's been on top for so long, that defeat hit hard. It wasn't just about losing a match, it was about losing his path to WrestleMania, his chance to go out on his terms. So what did he do? He didn't sit back and wait for another shot. No, Cena went all in. He marched straight to Elimination Chamber and demanded a spot in the match. He didn't qualify, didn't earn it the usual way. He just said, "I'm in," and that was that. Already you could tell something was different. This wasn't the Cena we knew, the one who played by the rules. Then, inside the chamber, he sealed the deal. Seth Rollins stomped CM Punk into the mat, and Cena swooped in like a vulture, pinning Punk to win. It wasn't heroic. It wasn't clean. It was sneaky, selfish, and totally unlike the Cena of old. Why did he do it? Desperation. Losing the Royal Rumble woke him up. His time is running out, and he knows it. This is his retirement tour, his last chance to make waves, and he's not about to let it slip away. When The Rock stepped up and dangled an offer, "Join me, sell your soul, and I'll get you to WrestleMania," Cena didn't hesitate. Forget honor, forget loyalty, he wanted that main event spot, and he'd do anything to get it. It's like he said to himself, "I've been the good guy long enough. If I can't win fair and square, I'll take the shortcut." That desperation turned John Cena into someone we barely recognize, and it's just the beginning. Reason 2, WrestleMania needed a big surprise to get fans excited. Let's talk about WrestleMania for a minute. It's supposed to be the biggest show of the year, the Super Bowl of wrestling. Every spring, fans count down the days, expecting huge matches, wild twists, and moments they'll talk about forever. But this year, the hype was, well, kind of quiet. The stories heading into WrestleMania weren't clicking. You had Cody Rhodes chasing his dream, sure, but the rest of the card felt messy. Matches were announced, but they didn't have that must-see spark. Even with stars like Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins on the roster, something was off. Fans were starting to tune out, and WWE knew they had a problem. That's when Triple H, the guy running the show, stepped up. He looked at Elimination Chamber and said, "This is our chance to shake things up." He promised fans it would be industry-changing, a night that would turn wrestling on its head. And boy, did he deliver. Cena turning heel wasn't just a random twist. It was a carefully planned bombshell. After 20 years of being the face of WWE, the guy who carried the company through good times and bad, Cena joining forces with The Rock flipped everything upside down. These two spent years trading insults and punches. Remember their epic battles at WrestleMania 28 and 29? Now they're on the same side, and it's unreal. The moment it happened, the arena exploded. Fans couldn't believe their eyes. Social media lit up. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, you name it. People were posting clips, arguing about what it meant, and guessing what's next. Suddenly, WrestleMania wasn't just another show, it was the show. Cena's heel turn gave it the jolt it needed, like throwing a bucket of cold water on a sleepy crowd. It got everyone talking, from hardcore fans to casual viewers who hadn't watched in years. WWE needed a spark to save the season, and Cena's betrayal was the match that lit the fire. Without it, WrestleMania might have been forgettable, but now it's unforgettable. Reason 3. It's easier to book Cena as a bad guy against Cody Rhodes. Wrestling stories work best when they're simple. Good guy versus bad guy. The hero fights the villain, the crowd picks a side, and the drama writes itself. But when you put two good guys against each other, it gets tricky. Who do you cheer for? Who's right? It's like trying to pick between your two best friends in a fight. Nobody's happy. That's the problem WWE faced with Cena and Cody Rhodes. Both are massive heroes. Cena's the legend who's inspired millions, and Cody's the underdog who's finally hitting his stride, carrying his family's name with pride. A match between them as good guys sounds nice on paper, but in reality, it'd be a snooze. Think about it. If Cena and Cody both stayed heroes, their WrestleMania showdown would lack heat. Fans would cheer for both, sure, but there'd be no stakes, no tension. WWE's tried this before, two babyfaces going at it, and it's hit or miss. Sometimes the crowd splits and the energy fizzles out. Other times it just feels like a friendly sparring session, not a blockbuster fight. For Cena's last run, they couldn't risk that. They needed a story that grabs you by the throat and doesn't let go. Enter the heel turn. By making Cena the bad guy, everything clicks into place. Now, Cody's the shining hero, fighting for honor and his legacy, while Cena's the cold-blooded villain who sold his soul for one last shot at glory. The crowd knows exactly who to root for. Cheer Cody, boo Cena, simple as that. It's not just about picking sides either. This setup lets Cena chase his 17th world title in a way that feels new and dangerous. Imagine him cheating to beat Cody, stealing the belt with a low blow or The Rock's help. That's drama you can't get with two good guys shaking hands at the end. Cody wasn't turning heel. He's too hot as a hero right now, and fans would riot. So Cena took the fall. It's a genius move. It turns a potential snoozer into a can't-miss main event, and it gives Cena's final chapter the edge it deserves. Good versus evil never gets old, and this time, Cena's the one wearing the black hat. Reason 4. Cena can now fight all the top good guys. Here's where things get really fun. Cena turning heel doesn't just change one match, it opens up a whole world of possibilities. As a good guy, he was stuck. He could only feud with villains, and after 20 years, he'd already faced most of them. Triple H, Edge, Randy Orton, you name it. His options were running thin. But now, as a bad guy, the sky's the limit. Every top hero in WWE is fair game, and that's a goldmine for his retirement tour. Let's dream big. Picture Cena versus CM Punk, one of the greatest rivalries ever, but this time with Cena as the heel. Punk's back, fighting for the fans, while Cena's out to crush him with dirty tricks. Or how about Cena against Roman Reigns? Roman's been the king of WWE for years, and Cena could step up as the ultimate threat to his throne. Then there's Jey Uso, the guy who beat Cena at the Royal Rumble. Imagine Jey getting his revenge, proving he's not just a fluke. That's personal, and fans would eat it up. But wait, there's more. Cena could chase the Intercontinental Championship from someone like Gunther, turning a mid-card title into a main event prize. Or he could mix it up with younger stars like Braun Breaker, showing the new generation what a legend can do, even a villainous one. And don't forget The Rock. Teaming with him ties Cena to the Bloodline, WWE's biggest storyline. Maybe he fights Sami Zayn or even clashes with the Usos down the line. Every match has a fresh twist because Cena's playing a role he's never played before. This isn't just about one big WrestleMania moment, it's about a whole series of battles. Cena's final run could stretch across months, hitting every PPV with a new blockbuster feud. Fans will tune in to see who stops the new bad guy Cena, and that excitement keeps WWE hot all year. Turning heel didn't just save his story, it turned it into a saga. Reason 5. Cena's last run needed to be unforgettable. John Cena's career is a highlight reel. He's the guy who beat the odds, won 16 world titles, and made kids believe in heroes. He's lifted fans onto his shoulders, spent hours signing autographs, and lived by never give up every single day. But after 20 years, even the best stories can start to feel old. Cena as the good guy was amazing, but it was predictable. We'd seen it all. The comeback wins, the big speeches, the feel-good endings. For his final run, he needed something different, something that'd make jaws drop and hearts race. He needed to rewrite his ending. That's what this heel turn does. By selling his soul to The Rock, Cena becomes a whole new character. He's not the smiling hero anymore. He's mean, he's ruthless, he's out for himself. In the ring, he can cheat, use weapons, whatever it takes to win. On the mic, He can trash talk like never before, cutting promos that sting. Imagine him telling the crowd, "I carried you all for years, and now I'm done with you." That's not just a twist, it's an earthquake. It's Cena unleashed, showing a side we've never seen, and it's electrifying. This isn't about ruining his legacy, it's about making it bigger. If Cena retired as the same old hero, he'd get a nice send-off, a wave to the crowd, and that'd be it. But as a heel, he's leaving a mark that lasts. Win or lose, his last matches will stick with us. Maybe he takes the title from Cody in a shady finish. Maybe he loses but takes everyone down with him. Either way, it's not predictable. It's wild, messy, and memorable. After 2 decades, Cena's not just going out on top, he's going out as a legend who dared to change the game.